How's everybody doing today? Good. Let's start. You know, and you see it. Our prayers obviously go everybody over at Delta State. That's obviously a scary situation. You know, I know it's a scary situation on campus here a couple weeks ago, and fortunately, there were no casualties or injuries or anything that occurred from that. Obviously, anytime anything like that happens on a college campus, or really anywhere, is really scary. So all our prayers are with them over there in Cleveland, Mississippi today. So, but we got to get ready. Tough game this week for us with Northwestern State. I think a lot of people saw it last week. How challenging it is for you if you don't, come out there and you're not prepared to play your A game. You're gonna, you're gonna be in a battle, and having just looking at some of the scores, not just in our league, also around the country. We have when you're playing some smaller schools, you got to make sure you are playing and at a very, very high level and executing at a high level, or you're not going to win the football game. So it'd be a good challenge to our team this week to come out there. They have a bunch of a solid player, got a great receiver. Dynamic, fast running backs, quarterbacks. They've played a couple different quarterbacks, I know, but quarterbacks that can cause some issues, have some athletic ability, and have the ability to put points on the board for them. They're a very aggressive defense. You watch them, in this season, how much they blitz. They'll blitz much more than any team we've seen so far this season, and really come at you in a lot of different directions. So we're going to have to execute at a really high level and just handle all the different things that are going to be thrown at us on Saturday. And obviously being at home is going to help. We get a great crowd. We had an unbelievable atmosphere last Saturday. And anytime you play at home, we expect to have that same type of crowd, that same type of atmosphere. Fortunately, we get to play in the daytime this week too, and so our fans actually can come to the game, enjoy the game, and not have to really probably sleep an entire next day just to get over being up into the middle of the night playing a football game and cheering for us. So, but I thank all our fans for an unbelievable atmosphere they created for us on last Saturday. That was a disappointing loss for us. But I mean, anytime one of the things you look for, especially early in a season. We have the problems we have to fix. You got problems you have to go adjust and you have to fix to. And we make that kick at the end of the game, we still have the same problems. Except the only difference was we made a kick. And not that was the turning point in the game, but I explained to our team, if that moved that ball about 8 feet to the left, and the only difference between the yesterday we had and that ball being 8 feet to the left is we're just have all the same issues and problems with just a big giant smile on our face. And so we have got to work to get better as a football team in every phase, and we got to continue to improve throughout the season. And because great football teams, we're not looking to peak early September. We're looking to peak as the season goes on and continue to improve from week to week.
Kind of jumping off a sense of urgency, how important is it to avoid that 0-2 start in the league?
Huge. I mean, every game's so huge in this league, and that's what makes it tough. I mean, almost every game you play is against a top 25 team, and every game is critical to your season. So, you don't got a lot of really not many layup games in the Southeastern Conference, and so. You got to show up every single game and play your butt off.
The Auburn game obviously is usually one of the first SEC games, but it seems that whoever kind of wins that game between you and Auburn, it seems to kind of propel their season. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's such an important game?
Well, I think the last couple of years it's been the first SEC game, so I think that always I think the first game can really mean a lot and really help propel you one way or the other. But I think for both of us this year, both of us are coming off a loss in conference, and you don't want to fall that far behind. So we both or in conference play or kind of, back against the wall, got to come out fighting ready to play.
So we've talked about having somewhat of a young team. Can you take anything from the Southern Miss trip, or is an SEC road game different for the younger players?
Well, I think you can take some things from it, and there should be a little different. Obviously, we're getting on a bus, we're traveling, we have a night game on the road. You're going to be in a hostile environment. The great thing when we played down at Southern Miss, I mean, it was a sold-out stadium and in a tough road environment. And I think our guys handled that scene very well. Obviously, it's going to be a lot different at Auburn. You're going to talk about twice, maybe more than twice the size, louder, more difficult, all of those things. But I do think some of our young players can have take a little bit of confidence in that they've already played a road game and played it in a sold-out stadium against a tough team.
Has last year's game been talked about at all? Just the magnitude of the win and how much it meant to the program?
No, and that probably won't be to me. Because this year's game will mean a lot to our program too. And, but we were a different team last year. They were a different team last year. We played under very different circumstances last year. But anytime you're playing an SEC game, I think it's huge. And last year's game really doesn't play in a lot to this year's game.